to just unpack what you're struggling with in your parenting, as well as learn about some great strategies to do better parenting. And we're just excited. We want everyone to know because, we did a survey and we heard from hundreds of people about the challenges of parenting. And it's hard enough, but we know that there are some really great things that we can learn and we can share and have support as we go through. One of the topics we're going to talk about is raising kids in a sex-saturated and a gender-confused culture. Mm-hmm. And we hear about that all the time from grandparents. So, it's a new day, a new age, and so we wanted to have a new workshop to help people who are parenting and to be fearless in their parenting.
And it's one day, and it's online, and it's October the 2nd. It's coming up.
And it doesn't matter how old or how young your child is, honestly, because what we will teach you can redeem a family no matter how old your children are. And no matter how young they are, we will equip you to get started in a better way that will make it the most likely probability that your children will succeed in life. So this information is for all parents.
And it's going to help the anxiety level that you parents have as you're raising kids in this upside-down world. And you'll be a better parent for the lack of anxiety that you'll have.
Well, and just to know that we're not alone.
And if you know of a parent, a young parent, young family, we've got fractured households, there's all kinds of things that we need help with. Let them know about the parenting workshop and call us 1-800-NEW-LIFE and get them signed up today.
Thank you so much, Becky. If you don't think you need this and you're a parent, you need to call the program. We need to help you. So call us at 800-229-3000. There's a few spots left open on the board, and we'd like to help you with whatever your issues are. So we'll be back right after this.
I came into this thinking that my husband was the cause of many of our issues.
The New Life Intimacy and Marriage Workshop is coming to Dallas, Texas, October 15th to the 17th.
But after learning about our attachment styles, I understood how our past hurts were playing into our present problems.
Join Steve Arterburn.
It's been a dream of mine for a long time to help people to grow more intimately together, and we believe that everybody has room to grow in the intimacy level of their life.
And Milan and Kay Yurkovich.
We help couples understand how their attachment style is sabotaging their current relationship. And then we teach them how to create comfort in a relationship.
And New Life's group counselors will help you focus on the area that will benefit your marriage most. To register or to find out more, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
Here at this workshop, we had our first ever conversation without yelling, blaming, and accusing.
1-800-NEW-LIFE. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Okay, we're back, and we're going to go right to the calls. We're going to talk to Joan. Joan listens on our app. So thank you, Joan, for listening.
You're going to be a little bit. Okay.
Don't be too long. We're here. Joan,
I know. I have to lock it up.
Hello there. Are you there, Joan?
Hello. Yes.
Okay. How can we help you?
I've just been going through depression and anxiety for a long time. I've gone through ECT treatments as well as a myriad of medications to no avail. And I just wanted a Christian insight on it.
Will you tell us about your story and what in your life might have led to depression?
That is the mystery. I just woke up one day. I have had no trauma in my life, and I have read up on this, and they say that sometimes it just happens.
How old were you when it happened?
And I'm one of the 3.5 years ago, I was mid-50s.
And what was happening in your life at the time?
Nothing. I was working, and my kids were out of the house, so I was just working.
How many kids do you have?
Living a normal life.
How many kids?
3.
3. And what was the state of your marriage or your relationship with their father?
I'm married to him. Is that what you're asking?
Right. And how was your marriage at the time that the depression started?
Oh, good.
And you have not felt any relief from the treatments you've tried. Are you still in treatment right now? Would you describe it to us briefly?
I'm still under a doctor's care who continues to try different protocols.
And what about the therapy that you have received, the talk therapy?
Oh, I have a great Christian counselor that I talk to. Yes, ma'am.
How long have you been seeing the counselor?
Several years.
Joan, is there a history of anxiety or depression in your family?
I don't think so. At least not diagnosed.
Okay, yeah. So what would you say is stronger? Is it the depression stronger, or is it the anxiety that's stronger?
Currently, it's the depression, sir.
Okay. So, but do they bounce back and forth?
No. Well, the anxiety lessened and it has become stronger lately, but the depression still outweighs it.
Okay, yeah, so the depression is... So I want you to start here. So depression, it really is a lack of usable energy in the brain. So I'm going to go pretty scientific for a moment here, if you would go there. And so the question then we have to ask is, what is stealing our energy? Now, one thing that steals energy is anxiety. And so we have to, but anxiety is a real or perceived threat that the brain interprets the world around us as threatening, or a life is threatening. Sometimes it could be a loss, but something is upsetting. Now, when Alice was asking you questions, it was like everything was a general answer. But you've heard the term that the devil's in the details, right?
Yes.
Well, if the devil's in the details, so is God. So we got to get into the details of our life. Now, again, we want to understand that these things that we call mental illness, here on the show, we oftentimes are pointing people to their experiences. And we need to pay attention to how our experiences impact us. Again, emotionally, relationally, spiritually. But we also have biological vulnerabilities, right? Each one of us. I come from a long line of Irish depressed drunks, right? So I've got to really pay attention that, hey, in my family, what's passed down is a vulnerability to addiction and a vulnerability to depression. As well as there's some traumatic patterns in there as well. And so as I get into the details of my family, the details of my life, what makes me me. But ultimately, if I don't know all of the whys, what I need to address is the what nows. So let's say that we don't have a good reason for your depression. We can't find the source and figure it out. And maybe... And yours is a little bit out of the norm, because usually when there is a sudden onset, it typically happens with people in their early 20s. But with that said, in your early 50s, it's not out of the question. It's like, okay, now that I have this, what now do I do with it? How do I live with it? And what in my life do I change? So, yeah, what are some things that have been helpful?
There has been nothing, sir, that's really been helpful. I do stay busy. That's something that helps. I do stay busy.
How about exercise, and how about nutrition? Have you looked into those things?
I eat very well. I eat very healthy. And I haven't been lately, but I'm starting to walk again. I used to walk a lot.
Good.
Joan, I do suspect that you're very good at overcoming what seem like small or moderate hurts. I bet you're a very tough person, and you probably come from a tough family who's good at, if you fall down, you pull yourself up by your bootstraps and you keep on going, you keep a solid outlook on life. I say that because you didn't identify any hurt in your life. Now, you may not have experienced a significant trauma, but everybody has been hurt, and everybody has hurt others. And it's so likely that the hurt you've experienced is part of the depression that you have now. And when we're really good at not being hurt by the hurt, because we're tough and we're strong and we keep going, it accumulates, and we get to a tipping point at a place in our life where that hurt cannot be repressed any longer. And so my suspicion is that there is something there. And I would have you pursue this with your therapist. I want you to consider the sins that others have committed against you. Because everybody in your life has committed sins that have affected you. But you also have struggled with unhealthy behavior in your own life. And that pattern accumulates too, and it weighs our soul down. So rather than looking for the trauma, look for the hurts, look for the sins, yours and other people's, and start to tell those stories. If you're not in a group, I'd also recommend a group. If you've never brought your husband into a session or your children into a session, more is revealed as family is engaged in therapy and a therapist gets those additional perspectives. Will you tell me how you react hearing this direction from me?
Relieved and very grateful.
Why relief?
Because this has been going on a long time, and I'm just, like you said, I'm picking myself up and going on. But for someone to give me a different perspective and a different way to pursue it,
hope
continues to give me hope.
And does one thing come to mind of a way you've been hurt or a way you've hurt someone else?
No.
Okay, so here's the direction I want to give you in therapy. Okay.
Okay.
I can hear it. It's in you right now. So I want you to pay attention to the very center of your chest right now, like at the top of your sternum. Okay.
Okay.
Or the bottom of your sternum. Sorry, top of your abdomen, bottom of your sternum. And I want you to notice the pressure right there.
Okay.
Okay. Your body's trying to tell you something, but it takes a while to hear it and listen to it. Okay. Your body is rebelling against you. It's saying that, hey, the way that you've been going about this isn't working, and I'm going to shut it down for you. And we call that depression. The anxiety is saying, look at me, pay attention to me. It's not readily available to your mind right now, which is frustrating, but it is there. I think it's between your chin and your belly button, because that's where we store historical information.
And the fact that your answer is no, you can't think of one thing, confirms that we're on the right track. And so you and your therapist and God will begin to discover those hurts, to process them and heal from them.
Amen.
I want to thank you for.
Amen. Thank you so much.
Thank you for calling us. What book, guys, do you think would be best?
I think healing is a choice.
That's what I thought.
Yeah,
that too.
You know, one of the things that I was just thinking of is like deep calls to deep, right? Hear that from the prophets, even in the Psalms. So sometimes we need depth to call to depth, right? That's something that we as therapists try to do, but it's got to be safe, but we also got to know what we're going after. One of the things I think Joan is struggling with that I want to put out there to our listeners is what's called dissociation. And it's where our kind of mind separates from our body or our experiences. It's a great coping mechanism, but it helps us get through life, but it doesn't help us deal with ourselves. And so reconnecting to our body and our bodily experiences, it's challenging, it's tough. We typically need a safe place and professional person to be able to do that, but really important. If you're out there and you're struggling with like, I'm struggling with this, but I have no idea why. My life looks great on the outside, but on the inside it's falling apart. Hey, therapy is for you.
Okay, thank you. Call us at 800-229-3000, and we're going to be here an extra hour after this program, and we want to take your calls. Let's talk with Lisa. Lisa's in Milton, Florida, listens on WEGS. Lisa, how can we help you today?
Yes. Hi. I have 33-year-old son, and he has a daughter, my granddaughter. I have other children too, but he lives here locally, and I keep my granddaughter just about every weekend, like one night, and we always have a good time. But when I take her home sometimes, or even just when I'm around them, he talks so roughly to her, and it just breaks my heart. And if I say anything, call him on it or something, like I did last weekend, he'll call me and tell me to butt out and stay in my place. And he just gets so angry, and then he ends up hanging up on me.
Lisa,
and I have to be honest.
Lisa, how did his father handle his anger?
Oh, the same way. Mm-hmm. I mean, his dad was not around much. He worked on a towboat, loved his job, was home for 2 weeks and gone for a month. Ever since my son was a year old.
And are you two still married?
No, we're not. We've been actually divorced 20 years.
Are you remarried?
So no, I'm not. He is.
And after the divorce, did your son live with you primarily or with his dad?
Oh, he lived with me because his dad was on a boat and couldn't, see him much. But
so how painful to see your son repeating some of your feedback. What's your question for us?
I feel like I have to take up for my granddaughter, but at the same time, it's
in the 21st century. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE to register or to find out more. 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
I was really living a very anxiety-filled life. I did go to Take Your Life Back. That's why I continue to support the ministry with the hope that not only am I helping my own situation, that I'm helping others as well.
You can help New Life Live stay on the air by joining Club New Life today. When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, we'll send you the New Life member thank you gift of the New Life Journal, 100 Days of Peace, 7 Ways to Choose Healing, Growth Has No Boundaries, a Restoration Bible, and a New Life grocery tote to hold it all. Plus, there are ongoing benefits, like access to the Club New Life video library, the monthly Club New Life CD or download, quarterly resources, free shipping on purchased resources, and discounts on workshops. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. Support Club New Life, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. We'd love to hear from you. If you have a question or a comment, call toll-free 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
Okay, we're back, and we're talking with Joan. We're talking with Lisa. And Lisa is struggling because her son speaks very harshly to his daughter, Lisa's granddaughter. And she doesn't know how to help because the son doesn't want any of her thoughts or opinions. So, Chris, help her.
Yeah, Lisa, this is so tough because obviously you love your son, you love your granddaughter, but the first thing I want you to keep holding on to is what you're already doing. You want to be a safe place, a refuge, a strong voice in your granddaughter's life. And I want you, in the midst of what she may be experiencing with her dad, I want you to be able to respect and honor the power that has over that little girl's lifetime, because she will need a safe place. She will need a person to go to. She will need a refuge. In the same place, I'm thinking of this proverb, and you seem like a gentle soul, which is really to your advantage here, because truly a soft answer can turn away wrath. So you want to be able to approach your son with a deep sense of concern, with deep empathy, knowing that he is carrying around his own pain and hurt and disappointment, which he's just bleeding off into the world around them. I think it's why James tells us, the anger of man does not bring about the righteousness of God. We just don't do anger very well. It's there.
Right.
We need to be able to handle it and handle it well. But man, if it just keeps, tracking on down, it just bleeds. So there's boundaries with your son there, but I want you to keep moving in with care and concern. Now, do you know if this anger turns into any other dangerous behavior? Meaning that is your granddaughter at risk from physical violence?
No, she is not.
Okay, but Dad is just harsh.
No, she's not.
Yeah.
What's your son's spiritual condition? What's his faith like?
He had become a Christian when he was about 11 or 12, and then when we got a divorce when he was 13, I think he's pretty much, definitely not that I can see, seeking,
the
Christian life. So I don't know.
So you know that his father and the ending of the marriage deeply affected your son. No matter who initiated the divorce, it hurt him and it broke something between him and God. And that just so often happens in divorce. God tells us to take a backdoor approach to other people's sins. And by that, I mean, he says, take the beam out of your own eye first before you try to correct other people. Mm-hmm. And you have a couple of entry points here with your son. You've probably done this before, but it's time to do it again. Son, I know that there has been pain in your life because of your father and me and the choices that we have made. And if you ever want to talk with me about it, I want to hear about it. I think we even affected your relationship with God. And I just want to be a listener to that. A secondary conversation is, son, I know I've been agitating you lately, and I'm sure it's something about my approach. Would you tell me what it's like for you when I bring a concern to you? I know just the other day, it was upsetting that I brought one of my concerns to you. Tell me about it. And it's in the humility, Lisa, and in the listening that the defenses of a sinner are lowered, and there's a likely softening of their heart by God's grace and leaving some room, inviting in the Holy Spirit by our obedience to God.
Mm-hmm. Wow, okay.
Wait,
that sounds so good.
You said, wow. What surprises you about that?
Well, just that... Well, I had run across that verse the other day about taking the beam out of your own eye. After our confrontation, and I thought, anyway.
And you thought what?
But, well, I guess what I'm trying to, I'm a little nervous, so I'm just, anyway.
You saw
I guess what I want to say is that
you saw the verse and you thought what?
Well, I thought that, there are things in my life, yes, that I and that I need to correct, and that I do, the wrong way or say the wrong way.
Lisa, I am waving my pom-poms in the air right now. I am so excited that you are already hearing God's nudge and responding to it, because of course you were an imperfect mom, as I am too. And our willingness to go to our kids and confess our imperfections and find out how we have hurt our children, even though your ex-husband's hurt is more obvious. Oh, that calls the hearts of our children back to us, and so very likely back to God as well.
Yeah, that would be great.
Right before it says, that our anger does not produce the righteousness that God desires, it says everyone should be quick to listen, slow to speak, and slow to become angry. But when and that's one of the things I think is a real strength, Lisa, that you're being led in very well by Alice, is that when we do address the planks in our own eyes, and we realize that, man, I got a lot to struggle with, and we experience healing, our heart not only softens towards ourselves, it softens towards everyone else. Yeah. And everyone wants to gravitate towards a soft heart.
Now be patient with the process because your son probably has a lot of safeguards around his heart. And so it's not a one-time affair. It's a new pattern that we show to our children that breaks down those walls and barriers between us.
Thank you, Lisa.
Thank you so much.
I think your call has touched a lot of people. You're not the only one dealing with things like this. So you hang in there, and we're going to send you a book. We'll talk about it at the break.
For most of my life, I've been dealing with an opiate addiction.
Why is opioid addiction quickly becoming one of our nation's biggest killers? Maybe it's because it isn't only those who are addicted who are in denial.
We did what I see so many parents do, is it can't be an addiction. There's something medically wrong.
It's impossible to solve a problem when you don't know what you're up against, and families will try to find any explanation except the one that will put them on the right path.
Alcoholism and drug addiction is a family disease. It doesn't affect just the individual.
If someone you love is abusing painkillers, know what you're up against. It's time to admit its addiction and seek treatment. Call us today at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. We have partner treatment centers around the country. Call 1-800-639-5433 or visit us online at newlife.com.
We just made a decision. We will do whatever it takes.
1-800-NEW-LIFE.
Hi, this is Steve Arterburn, and for 30 years, New Life has been the most trusted name in Christian counseling.
I'm an addict, and I'm trying to get God in my life again. You seem to be able to get to the crux of a problem quickly.
Our Christ-centered treatment programs can help you break free to embrace all that God has for you and your family.
I just want to thank you guys for bringing me to a relationship with Jesus.
There really is help for marital problems, depression, addictions, panic attacks, and feelings of hopelessness.
I came back with so many tools to help me prepare myself to fight this struggle and this battle that I have every day.
You can start living again today, living the life God intended for you. Help is available at 1-800-NEW-LIFE.
They did care, and they did follow up very lovingly, and it made all the difference in my life.
Call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Someone who cares is waiting at the other end of the phone. God can open the door to a better tomorrow right now. Just call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. 1-800-639-5433.
We're glad you joined us for New Life Live. To be a part of the program, call 1-800-229-3000. Now back to New Life Live.
Okay, we are back. And I wanted to just give a little bit of a testimony that happened just this weekend before we go to our next call. It was one of those months I didn't get to go to Every Man's Battle. But this morning it was shared in our staff devotions that there was one attendee who was very closed, very arms crossed, and he was a Hindu. And I say he was because by the end of the workshop he wasn't. We had we do an exercise on Saturday night, but everything leads up to it because the presentation, the love that's shown, everything about this workshop is Christ-centered. But there's an actual invitation and an better understanding of who Christ is and what the blood that he shed did for us. And at the end of that, this Hindu accepted Christ. And what can be better?
Mm-hmm.
You know, what can be better than that?
Yeah.
And it doesn't matter how many guys were there. We got one guy that, we have a lot of guys who get reconnected, that know the story. They know it all. They haven't been living it. And now they're back feeling like they're in the shadow of what God's love and care is. They so often think they're outside of that. But this guy wasn't even there to begin with. So isn't that wonderful?
It's incredible. We just can't give enough credence, I'll say, to the power of forgiveness and what it does to our hearts, what it does to our soul, what it does to every part of us, you know.
Amen.
And knowing that, again, to be clear on that forgiveness is a process. But also we can walk through these experiences like we have at Every Man's Battle or in some of our workshops where we can have a tangible experience of receiving God's forgiveness. It's incredible.
So if you'd be willing to make a gift to support this ministry because of the things that happen to people when they engage with us, how the Holy Spirit is working, we'll send you a copy of this. Dave Stoops, it was his final book, Living Strong, Finishing Well. And I wish it had its original title that Dave wanted, which was Don't Die Before You're Dead. But talking about forgiveness, he wrote a book on forgiveness that you ought to get as well. So you can call and order that. That's it was originally called Forgiving the Unforgivable. It was reprinted with the title that Forgiving What You'll Never Forget. Mm-hmm. So.
And folks, when anyone who's not yet a follower of Christ, an atheist, a non-believer, a Hindu, someone of any faith, we love when you call and you engage with us, and you are so welcome on our show and in our weekends, whether or not you believe as we do.
That's right.
We know what we teach will help you.
Yep. No shame zone. We want to go and talk to Martha. Martha's in Los Angeles, listens on KKLA. Martha, hi. How can we help you today?
Hi, good morning. First of all, I'm so thankful for New Life because you guys have helped me and my family a lot. I'm so grateful for it. I always recommend others, especially when they're going through trials.
Well, thank you.
I do have, there's some backstory really quick so you could understand what's going on. My husband, unfortunately, he has a stronghold with alcohol, drugs, porn. After the EMB, he confessed, and I found out he was a serial cheater. Workaholic too. So we've been to most of your workshops, EMB, Restore, Marriage, the Marriage one, Take Your Life Back 12 Steps. We had one restraining order a couple years ago. We kind of reconnected after a couple of months, and unfortunately, because he doesn't follow through with connect with other men and support groups, he did have relapses, so I had to eventually, 2 months ago, file another order where the judge gave us 2 years and supervised visits in a facility for my kids. My question is, can that have like a negative impact? Because I've seen a lot of negative reviews of the facility, and I know that I want to know if that has a negative impact, and maybe when I could allow or he could earn his way back to us, because I still have hope. I truly believe that God is telling me, let go and let me, and to trust him, but he also tells me not to compromise. Is that a lot?
Yeah, that is a lot, but I honestly think can I just be honest and say you're asking the wrong question?
Am I?
Yeah, it's like, can this facility, or I don't know, I exactly know how that works, but my other question is, why in the world would you continue to expose yourself or your kids to dangerous behavior?
Yeah, no, that's why I did the restraining order.
Okay, so good. So honor it.
Mm-hmm.
Okay?
Yeah.
Pay attention. What I want you to pay attention to, first and foremost, is safety. What is most damaging to yourself and your children is not whether this facility does visitations well or not. Okay, now I don't know, like they may or may not, but what is damaging to your children is how they've been damaged by your husband's behavior. And that's what we really want to care for. We want to care for the souls of those ones, those little ones that were vulnerable to all of this chaos, all of this stress, all of this pain that acted itself out in the house, and be able to surround them with the care and the safety that they need to move forward and to be able to process their pain, their frustrations, their hurts.
How many kids and how old are they?
15, 13, 11. Boys.
All boys.
All boys. Yeah.
Martha, you are in a horrific position because your husband's sinful behavior has taken such a toll on your family that all of your choices are lesser of evils. They're almost all bad choices that you are forced to make because of what your husband has done. And so, is supervised visitation harmful to kids? Yes, it is. But it is better than spending time with their dad alone. Is a visit in a facility bad for kids? Yes, in a way it is, because none of that is how it's supposed to be. So you are forced into a position of having to make choices that are so much less than God wants for you and your children. But it is better than the ongoing exposure to their father without supervision and without the safety of a facility. Now, in my experience with supervised visitation, there tends to be a lot of choice on the side of the parent who entered the restraining order, so that you usually, with the help of your social worker, have some options about who supervises the visits and where it takes place. But sister, you return too quickly to your husband. You are too quick to look for hope and the possibility of reconciliation. And those are awful words that I am speaking to you. I say it because you've gone back too fast in the past, and it worries me that you're already talking about that right now in the present. Now, I know you're putting the brakes on in a lot of different ways, but your heart is too quick to enter back into dangerous situations before your husband has shown enough proof of long-term, ongoing, documented change. And that endangers your kids. I want you to be unwilling to consider reconciliation unless there's at least a year of committed ongoing therapy and you're receiving reports from his clinician and you're receiving the clean drug test reports, because you need hard evidence of change. Otherwise, don't even think of reconciling. How do you react to what I'm saying? This is harsh.
No, I thank you. That's what I needed to hear, because honestly, like, I've been working through like this whole codependency thing, and I am stronger, and God has made me more like, he took the scales off my eyes. So that's what I needed to hear, and that's why I wanted to call. And my call fell through because God wanted me to hear these words. So thank you so much.
That's good. And let me just reiterate what Alice is saying. So you see how he continues to return to his addictive devices, whether it be sex and affairs and drugs, alcohol, whatever the case may be. Well, guess what, friend? He is your addictive device that you need sobriety from.
Okay.
Got it? You won't get sober until you... And so God, I think what God was telling you is right. You do need to let go. You need to let go of him.
Okay. And my kids, I have them in sports, with family, youth group. I don't know about therapy. Would you think that they would need
Absolutely,
therapy?
yes.
Other than that,
absolutely, yes.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Okay.
Because they've been
with any therapist, or just have to be drug, alcohol related?
No, just a therapist that provides them a safe place to talk about their feelings, to talk about their experiences, to work out their struggles, especially what they've been through.
Because they've been through hell with you, even if you think they've been unaware of what's been taking place. Kids are so sensitive to the tension between their parents and to the spiritual effect of what your husband allowed into the home, whether they knew it or not. Yes, therapy as soon as possible.
What about a book?
Thank you. God bless you all.
God bless you.
Intimate Deception.
Yeah. Intimate Deception would be a good one.
We're sending you that book from Dr. Sherry Keffer. That'll be on its way. Folks, we're going to be here another hour after this, 800-229-3000. Chris and Alice are looking for the best call that they've ever had before. They're just waiting for it.
Be the best call.
Yeah, be the best call today. So you hold the line, and we're going to come back right after this.
My husband's been addicted to porn since he was 10 years old.
I found out about 9 months into my marriage that he has a porn addiction.
My name is Shelly Martinkus, and I want to personally invite you to the Restore Workshop. If you have been affected by betrayal, it might be that your husband has been looking at pornography, it might be an emotional, a physical affair. I would love for you to come join us.
Restore has empowered me and has given me the tools to work through my anger, work through my pain, work through my confusion, and help me realize that I am worthy.
Being here and being surrounded by people who get it has given me my power back.
Please don't hesitate. Pick up the phone, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. I would love to see you there.
The Restore Workshop is coming to Washington, D.C., November 12th through the 14th. To register or to find out more, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE or go online to newlife.com.
Thank you, Restore. You have changed my life forever.
I was really living a very anxiety-filled life. I did go to Take Your Life Back. That's why I continue to support the ministry with the hope that not only am I helping my own situation, that I'm helping others as well.
You can help New Life Live stay on the air by joining Club New Life today. When you sign up to support us monthly through Club New Life, we'll send you the New Life member thank you gift of the New Life Journal, 100 Days of Peace, 7 Ways to Choose Healing, Growth Has No Boundaries, a Restoration Bible, and a New Life grocery tote to hold it all. Plus, there are ongoing benefits, like access to the Club New Life video library, the monthly Club New Life CD or download, quarterly resources, free shipping on purchased resources, and discounts on workshops. Call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433. Support Club New Life, and together we can help hurting people find help and hope in life's hardest places. Call 1-800-639-5433 to join Club New Life today. To find out more information about New Life or to order any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. Now back to New Life Live.
Okay, we are back. And before we talk with Sarah, I want to let you know the weekly episode of Going Deeper. That's a video thing that Steve does. It premieres today at 5 o'clock Eastern time on our YouTube channel. And we're taking up the model of Sesame Street. Today's letter is N. Steve's going through the alphabet.
And Elmo will be on the show.
Yeah, and N is for narcissism. So you want to learn something about that? Tune in to Going Deeper, 5 o'clock Eastern on the YouTube channel. All right, let's talk with Sarah. Sarah's on line 2, and she's in Port St. Lucie, Florida. Listens on our app. Hello. How are you doing, Sarah?
Hi, how are you?
We're doing really well. What can we help you with?
I just need some help. I have called in the past, and I've gone to a New Life counselor, and my husband and I were in counseling for 5 years. We've gone to an intensive. I've been counseled to, my daughter's getting ready to graduate from high school. My son is a senior in college, and I've been counseled to try to stay until she graduates. And I just need some help. My concern is my husband is a covert abuser, emotional abuse, dismissive, very angry, and he is enmeshed with my daughter. So my daughter is more of his wife than me. So I'm concerned because it's been some time, and I'll just mention my daughter was very ill for many years. She's fine now. She is a cancer survivor. So, but this started before that.
How old's your daughter?
So my daughter's 8. She just turned 18, so she's a senior in high school. And he does a lot of antics, he's lies, he lied to the school saying he proctored a test whenever she wants to get out of school. He is always fixing things for her.
He's always rescuing her, right?
Rescuing her, yes, yes, rescuing. So, and now I've been very successful as a businesswoman, and I'm I have a very strong relationship with the Lord. So I know that can be threatening to him as well. But my concern is he consistently dismisses me, overrides my decisions. Like if she's rude to me or I give her a consequence, he'll override it. So my concern is I've been counseled to stay until she graduates. But in the meantime, I have a pretty good support system by listening to you guys. I'm in some Bible studies. I have a good recovery and a counselor and all that. But my concern is, am I sent, for her? And it's not the healthiest environment for me, but I know how to navigate through that. So what are some things that you would do? She won't go to counseling anymore. She knows the truth. I think down deep in her heart, both my kids know. My husband refuses to go to counseling anymore. He says it doesn't work. And but he doesn't want, he did try to divorce me 2 years ago, and I said, that's fine, just call our pastor, because I was tired of his threats. So I don't even know what to do anymore. I mean, I feel like they're both in wheelchairs, and they have broken legs, and the Lord said, Deanna, don't take matters into your own hands. I'm the only one that can fix them. But on the same token, what is my daughter learning? I think she's going to end up being the abuser in a relationship.
Sarah, have you ever left before for any period of time to protect your heart?
No, I have not.
And if you
I
were
have
to
not.
leave
I've
now,
wanted to, but when she was ill, I couldn't.
if you were to leave now, would it be to pursue a legal separation, a divorce?
I would. I won't leave now because I will not. My daughter and him are enmeshed, and he's Disney dad.
So Sarah, let me jump in. Let me jump in really.
When she leaves, I think.
So Sarah, let me jump in really quickly because I think we get the picture. So, you have a lot of labels and imagery for your husband and your daughter that are negative and scary, right? And so, and those are based on experiences. And the primary fear that I'm hearing is that you're worried that your daughter is going to be unhealthy as a result of what she's experienced in the home. And you said become an abuser. One of the things I want us to be cautious of is writing our children's future. Like oftentimes we take a current, exactly. We take a current behavior. So you're well versed in all of the language, but that actually I think is hurting you, not helping you. It helps you understand, but it's hurting you on relating. Because when someone, it's like, hey, puts a label on us, we react to the label. And so what I want you to be able to continue to do is say, hey, these are actual behaviors that don't work for me, or that are harmful for me, or that I'm concerned about. And what I want you to be able to do is separate, or what we call detachment, but separate yourself out a little bit more emotionally, especially from the fear. And what that will allow in saying, hey, I'm going to continue to work on myself to become a safe person, I can absolutely tell my daughter the truth about what I see and what I'm concerned about, my husband as well, but I can't control what they do with that. I have no determination over how they're going to and how my daughter is going to live their life. So, even the imagery of a wheelchair, I'm like, man, these are two human beings that, hey, they may have some struggles in their life, but they can walk. And so I'm going to give them the benefit of the doubt that they can control their own decisions. However, any of those decisions or behaviors that harm me, I'm going to set strong boundaries around. Because all of this pain wants me to control. But anywhere I'm trying to control the situation, I'm not going to be able to connect with my daughter. Sounds like the marriage has just been painful for too long. I think the wrong question is, do I stay or do I go? I think the right question is, how do I continue to detach? How do I continue to separate my heart out from an emotionally, relationally, and verbally destructive environment so that I can become a safe person and continue to be a safe person?
Well, I do think I use those words because in a short time I wanted to give you the depth. I don't think I use those on a regular basis.
Yeah. No, that's good. That's because you're doing it right. So I say these are words that we want to try to use as a tool and not a weapon. So absolutely. But I just think that there's one other thing I want to mention. What you guys have is a deep triangulation. That's a fancy way of saying that, like, so you get what that means.
Yes.
So I just want this awareness. The victim is always the strongest bind in the triangulation. So everyone wants to, so as much as you can, take yourself out of the victim role. Try to take everyone out, and then try to relate to your daughter as your daughter and your husband as your husband. But try to, when you're relating to your daughter, remove your husband from your mind and your heart when you're relating to her. When you're relating to your husband,
they don't want to relate with me. They they exclude me, and they kind of do it. I think she does it. I don't think he recognizes it. I think she does it to bond with him.
Sarah, I'm going to affirm that your efforts are worthwhile, even though they don't seem to be producing fruit. And remaining and being a healthy, stable presence is in and of itself a grace. Whether or not it's rejected, it's a grace to the household. And I'm going to give you one piece of advice that seems too simplistic. Go heavy on looking for what is praiseworthy and on calling your daughter up on who she can become rather than the abuser you're afraid she'll become. And you might be right, but this is what Jesus did beautifully. He gave us the name of who we can become. Look for those opportunities.
Well, the one thing I will say is, unfortunately, she has done that. Has done some of those behaviors.
That does not negate the advice that we're giving you. It just makes it harder. You need God's help.
Book for Sarah?
Take Your Life Back.
Take Your Life Back coming your way. Thanks for calling, Sarah. Call us 800-229-3000. We're here another hour. Bye-bye.
Thanks for listening. We hope this program has helped you by giving you insights for handling the challenges you face in your life. We want you to know that we're here for you, but you also need to know that New Life Live is a listener-supported ministry. To make your donation or to get any of the resources mentioned on today's program, call 1-800-NEW-LIFE. That's 1-800-639-5433, or write to us at New Life Ministries, P.O. Box 1029, Lake Forest, California, 92609. Please join us again tomorrow for New Life Live.
Hi, thank you for watching New Life Live. You know, New Life Live is a Christian counseling program where we deal with the hard questions about life, relationships, kids, free choice, freedom of will, whatever. It's all right there on New Life Live every day, every weekday, 1 p.m. Eastern, 10 a.m. Pacific. If you want to call into the live broadcast, you can find the schedule on newlife.com or click the social media link right below. You can see every episode of New Life Live on the New Life YouTube channel. Watch it with a friend, watch it later. Be sure to subscribe and hit that bell so you'll never miss another episode. So if you want to listen on the go, download the app. The link is right below. And I hope if you need some information, if you want to get some help, you'll call us at 1-800-NEW-LIFE. And I'll see you next time.